Hey everyone, my name is Jeff Speed, and this is who I decided to interview for my entrepreneurial interview. It's my best friend, Chris Steinmetz. Chris was born in Westport, Connecticut. He's 20 years old now. He goes to the University of Delaware, and he's a double major in entrepreneurship and environmental studies. Chris is quite the entrepreneur. He has developed three successful businesses so far and continues to come up with many ideas in order to try and progress as an entrepreneur. Recently, he has developed this idea for a computer tutoring service for seniors. Uh, Basically, he saw a need that senior citizens weren't exactly sure how to use a computer, and so he goes in and shows them how to best utilize the functions of a laptop, computer, or anything like that. Um, Going along with this sort of comes to the first point that Chris really taught me, and it was that your motivations as an entrepreneur change as the years go on. This was one of Chris's first businesses, and Chris really was in this one for the money. He wanted to make as much money as he could. He was in high school when he developed this one, and he just wanted to be able to have the disposable income that any normal teenager would love to have. However, now that he's in college, his motives have changed. Now, the most current and up to date business that he is doing is this distribution business. Basically, Chris will buy brewing parts from a distributor that he has made contact with, and he gets that sold to him for a very low price, and now he turns it and sells it for almost quadruple the price that he bought it for. So he's able to turn quite a profit. But as he explained to me, now this business isn't as much about the money. It's more about expansion and being able to sustain a growing business, something that he hopes can turn into his business when he graduates from college. Another thing that Chris really taught me throughout this interview was that no matter what, you have to have friends and family with you. This is a picture of me and Chris sitting in his room discussing doing this interview, and him showing me his other business of Apple repairing. What he does is he basically has a business card, gives it out to anybody who has a broken Apple product, which is a lot of people who have cracked iPhone screens, broken Macs, and he fixes them. So this is him just going over how he does some of that with myself. But he told me here that it's because of people like myself and his family that he's able to even do any of this stuff. He really relies a lot on his family and friends for advice and for help when he's not sure what to do. This is another picture of Chris. Obviously, it wasn't when I was with him, but it just on to show another really key concept that he taught me, and that was you're always going to have to be working and you're always going to have to do hard work, but never give up. He indicated to me that his work is really never done. He always is thinking about work, thinking about how to expand it, thinking about how to do things better. And he's always doing this to the best of his ability. He's always using every inch of his mind to try and better himself. And he's doing that with an enormous amount of hard work. Come the picture kind of metaphor. This is a picture of Chris, his father, and his uncle. These are some of the key contributors to his businesses. His father really helps him a lot. He loans him a great deal of the money um, that he uses for startup capital as well as for the expenses he has. And that's his uncle, who he actually turns to for a lot of advice because his uncle is one of the most successful entrepreneurs that Chris has ever known and has been a very, very big influence on Chris. Again, another picture of Chris. This was sort of towards the end of the day. Um, Him again on his iPhone, checking messages, not really, ever stopping to think about anything but his business. It was something incredible to watch and hear about from Chris because I've never seen this side of him because I've known him as the best friend who has fun with me, but being able to get a look into his life on the other side was really unique. Having said all that, there was one final takeaway that I took away from this, and that was that you can't be afraid as an entrepreneur. And what Chris meant when he told this to me was that you you have to take calculated risks. You can't take unnecessary big risks because then you'll be forced to be afraid. Because fear is what drives you to make bad decisions, as he put it. So by taking calculated risks and knowing that what you're going to do is going to work, you are able to come up and really not have any fear towards what you are doing. And that is how you are able to be successful. You are able to not be afraid. Overall, I learned so much from Chris. I'm so thankful for this interview, and I really have a new understanding of how much work he actually does as an entrepreneur. Thanks, guys. Hope you learned a lot, and see you next year.